And hello there, everybody. Big Paulie coming to you. And once again, we are getting ready for the Grand Slam Wrestling Match of the Week. This coming to you virtually from Waycross, Georgia, the home of Burt Reynolds, where he was born, and Pernell Roberts, who some of you might remember as the lead actor of Trapper John N.D., and did some other acting roles way back when. Tonight, it's Farmer Burns defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jerry the King Lawler, a fellow good guy, but you never know about Lawler. He might pull some stunts before the match is over with. Before getting to our main event, we will go over the card. The first 9 matches on the card, a typical GSW card is 10 matches long. This is in the South Circuit. We have 4 circuits, the North, East, South, West, all with their own heavyweight and tag team champions. Big E Langston made his debut in GSW against Mike Awesome. It was awesome, winning by DQ. Langston's a brawler, likes to brawl, even though he's on a good guy team called the New Day, and Kofi Kingston was injured by the Midnight Express last week, and the Express are now serving a 90-day suspension for the injury. Austin won by DQ in 11 minutes. The Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy, lost to America's Most Wanted, AMW with the pin in 2019, and it looks like the Freebirds are going to make a change. Michael Hayes is going to move over to the managerial side, and we'll talk about more about that as there were developments later on in the card. Roddy Piper and Dustin Rhodes, the Natural, go to a double DQ in 14 and a half minutes. Tito Santana upset Dory Funk Jr., Dory Funk in a funk, as Santana got a pin on him after a nice suplex, knocked the wind out of Dory, and all that Santana needed was a headlock, and Dory was done in 20:49. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew of Gene and Ole Anderson defeated Jerry Jarrett, that's Jeff's father, and Tojo Yamamoto in 14:23, and it was Buddy Roberts interfering, and that kind of encapsulated what the Freebirds are going to do in the South Circuit from now on, or at least for the time being. They're going to bring Buddy Roberts in the team with Terry Gordy, and Michael Hayes is going to manage them. Jarrett and Yamamoto were not pleased with the interference. They've challenged the Freebirds to a match next week, and that'll be taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ray Stevens and Randy Macho Man Savage went to a double countout. Savage, a fan favorite, after a stint in Mexico where he was a heel, and they went 26:45. No decision there. Lou Fez, a DQ winner over Arn Anderson, as the Andersons try to cripple Fez but fail. That match going, like I said, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And I forgot to do a little blurb of that match, so if you're seeing this on the Wrestling Finest board later, I will have it down, don't you worry. Then we got to the title matches. Eddie and Mike Graham are the Southern Tag Team Champions, and they lost by countout in 6 minutes as they came up a little woozy to the outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. So under the rules of the GSW, if the challengers win on a technicality, they have to win by pin or submission to win the championships. But a win by countout or DQ or on cuts, which does happen in Wrestling's Finest because it simulates the 80s, and back then you could lose a fight on a match on a cut. So they will get another shot next week in Charlotte against Eddie and Mike Graham. Kevin Sullivan tried to injure Sting. Sting's now the Southern Heavyweight Champ who defeated Ric Flair last week. And that kind of set up Jerry Lawler facing Farmer Burns in a way, because everybody thought that Lawler would face Ric Flair for the Southern title, but Flair lost in a flash to Sting, and then Sullivan tried to injure Sting, and Sting will not be 100% for his title defense next week. And as I said, Jerry Lawler won a top contenders match against Dory Funk Jr. And everybody thought he was going to get the Southern title shot, but the contract said that you could get the title shot of your choice. The world champ just happened to be in town, so it's going to be Lawler and Farmer Burns as we get going here. And I'll show you how I set up this match. You go to New Game. We go to Shooters to bring in Farmer Burns, the man who has held the heavyweight championship for 56 weeks. And his challenger will be Lawler. He's won a few titles in GSW. He's the TV champ a couple of years ago. He will be a babyface, but we will use him as a tweener here. And the match will be one fall, 60 minutes in time, as you'll see here. Burns gets the advantage of being a champ. We go to trade holds. Lawler only has to change out one of his holds for better statistical chances. Ropes to a headbutt. And as you can see here, Burns is going to be very hard to beat because his pin rating to start the match is 12, 10, 0. The first number is the 1 count. If the first fall number comes in lower than 12, then you go to the second count. The second count has to be lower for it to go to the third count, and that's how you do it. Lawler's starting pin rating is 27, 27, 2. Burns has tremendous stamina compared to Lawler, so it should be a huge advantage for the champ as we begin this World Heavyweight Championship bout from Waycross, Georgia. There's the bell, and we're underway. A quick suplex by Lawler, but I don't think he's going to get Burns that quick, and he doesn't. And they're already checking to see if Lawler disqualified himself. He did not. Goes for a submission. Burns counters it. Legal whip to the ropes by Burns. Double thrust to the throat. Ouch. And it's going to be 5 points off of Lawler. You start at 0, and most of the time you lose points, and you also lose cut points. If either man gets to minus 90 in cuts, the match is stopped. And if Lawler wins on cuts, that's not the championship for him. Arm holds by Burns, and that reduces his stamina to 7. A legal headbutt by Jerry the King Lawler. So Lawler off to a good start early on. Pin attempt on Lawler as he got hurled to the mat. Legal leg hold by Burns. Lawler is not going to out-wrestle Farmer Burns, that's for sure. Burns taught the legendary Frank Gotch all he knew. Legal throw by Burns. Another legal throw by Burns. Burns is overzealous on the shoot-in, and Lawler simply backs away. 4 minutes 50 seconds into the bout. Legal speed move by Burns knocks Lawler's stamina down 6 points. So Burns has already built up a bit of a damage lead here. He's at minus 10, and Jerry Lawler is at minus 47. The lower you are on the minuses, the worse you are. And it's already had a little bit of a cumulative effect on Lawler. He's getting a little more easy to pin. Legal neck hold, front chancery, and that reduces Lawler a little bit more. Headlock by Burns on the Lawler, and he's just giving him a death by 1,000 cuts here. Legal throw by Burns on the Lawler, another 7-point loss. Legal leg hold by Burns. So he's very accurate with his moves, so he's going to be very tough to beat when somebody finally beats him. And my Siri has gone off for some reason. I don't know why. So I just stopped that. Maybe I'm just saying the wrong combination of words. Legal neck hold by Burns. Burns just dominating here. Now choking by Burns. Ooh, you don't want to do that. Burns loses by DQ. Lawler gets an automatic rematch and will follow Burns wherever he goes in the GSW. Head scissors by Burns, so he's just putting on a technical wrestling lesson at this point. Probably frustrating the King a little bit. Legal leg hold. Illegal eye gouge by Burns, so Lawler's going to be hacked off a little bit here. He loses 4 more points. Lawler using punches. He goes to Fist City right away, and that is a 6-point loss of stamina to Burns, but Lawler is now way behind. Leg drop across the back by Lawler, 5-point loss. Snap suplex by Burns, so he's able to get Burns in the air. Burns is not even 200 pounds. He would be a junior heavyweight. In fact, he was the world junior heavyweight champion before winning the heavyweight title a little over a year ago. Legal punches by Lawler. Lawler throwing the rule book out the window as we might suspect that he would do. And a control loss, so Burns gets control again. But Lawler slips an aggression by Burns. Pinhole countered by Burns. You're not going to get Burns very easily. Jerry Lawler with a forearm to the side of the head. No, it's Burns the forearm to the side of the head, and that results in a non-pin. Leg hold by Burns, but countered. Quick flurry of punches by Lawler, and Burns loses 6 points, but Lawler still way behind. Outside the ring action. Oh, Farmer Burns has a large gash over the eye. Battered outside the ring by Lawler, so Lawler turning up the heat here a little bit. Small package, but no pin combination there. Action outside the ring. Burns tries a counter move. Opponent hurled to the floor. But now Burns has a cut and is a third of the way to a stoppage. And ran into a ring table was Lawler, and he loses 15 points of stamina. These boys got to get back inside. Legal knee by Lawler. So Lawler has all of a sudden found a way to get at the Farmer, the world heavyweight champ. Shoot in, and Burns backs away. We're past the 15-minute mark now. Arm hold by Burns. Burns has got to go back to technical wrestling. Neck hold, an arm hold. Specialty move, double wrist lock. And this usually does an opponent in, but not this time. Jerry Lawler showing some resilience. Crowd is kind of mixed. I think they want to see Burns lose the title. He's held it 56 weeks, but Lawler will also have a fan following, even if he does go to some underhanded methods. Mental lapse by Lawler, and he loses control. A mental lapse by Burns, and he loses control. Read the cards right, Paulie. Sleeper hold by Lawler, but that was a submission attempt, and you're not going to get Farmer Burns on a submission. You can't even get him on a pin. Arm hold by Lawler. Punches by Lawler. He's trying to keep himself from not being disqualified, although you could see a redness in Lawler's face kind of building. Legal knee countered. Barnes slips away. Approach the 20-minute mark. Burns keeps Lawler face down on the mat with a painful hammerlock. Strategy card used. Possible DQ is stopped. And submission move. Lawler never really was a guy who you could get to submit in his career. Manager comes to ringside for an unknown reason, watches the match intently. So that would probably be Gene Anderson, kind of the resident manager of the South. Arm holds again by Lawler. Stamina, actually damage, it's still Lawler down by 64 points. Kick to the chest by Jerry Lawler. Ouch. That could stop a man's heartbeat real fast. Wink, wink. Auto control loss, and now Farmer has control again. Legal neck hold. Get back to basic wrestling here, Farmer Burns. Forearm to the back of Lawler's arm. Specialty move. Full Nelson roll. This might be it. And Jerry Lawler has been disqualified. Let's see who came in the ring. This is some underhanded stuff, folks. Ray Stevens has come into the ring, and he is helping Jerry Lawler. Not even sure that Lawler is aware of it, but we'll see if that leads to anything. Nope, Burns was able to get out. So Lawler loses by DQ, and Ray Stevens interferes at 24 minutes and 17 seconds. Burns keeps his championship, and fans will start wondering about Jerry Lawler again. So that's your match, folks. We'll go over our match for next week. Farmer Burns has 2 title defenses. I do a random dice roll to determine who goes where in terms of world title defenses. And we know that he has 1 defense coming next week. 2 defenses. We know one of his opponents will be George Kidd, who is a legendary Scottish wrestler. in in Europe and was the former European heavyweight champion in one of our setups over the years. I've changed circuits quite a lot over the 3 years I've been doing this. So George Kidd will be one opponent, but we're going to go back to the South and just signed is this is going to be Farmer Burns is going to defend his title since Ray Stevens interfered and Ray Stevens was held to a double countout today. You could see me typing his name in. It's going to be Farmer Burns and Ray Stevens for the World Heavyweight Championship next week, and we will have that match for you, I would say Wednesday. On Wednesday, July the 1st. So Farmer Burns, Ray Stevens, mark that down on your calendar. Gold Rush will be coming to you from Rock Hill, South Carolina. See how I do this on the fly? Not too far from Charlotte, where the normal Southern Circuit card will be held. We have the World Junior Heavyweight Championship being defended. Jay Youngblood's first defense, that will be in Washington, D.C. against Dr. Wagner Jr. Tickets still on sale if you want to go to that event in Washington, D.C. So there you go, folks. Farmer Burns keeps his heavyweight championship in 24 minutes and 17 seconds. Jerry Lawler may or may not have known that Ray Stevens was going to interfere in the bout. Ray Stevens, the former Eastern heavyweight champ, trying to make a name for himself. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's match. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We'll catch you again next time. Bye bye for now, everybody.